I have so much conviction that there's going to be so many millionaires made from crypto that would never have had a chance to be a millionaire.
And already there are.
If I'm going too deep, just say stop.
I'm gonna just behave as though I'm such a beginner. I know absolutely nothing about crypto. A lot of people have heard about it. They've heard about the millionaires that have come out of crypto, but they also hear a lot about the scams. So it's like, what is it really? So I think I'll listen to your responses with that type of ear.
Okay.
Of I'm just thirsty. Sorry.
I know the pitfalls.
Yeah.
But I still fall into them.
I like the honesty.
I still think of crypto as this huge area to make money, to maybe even retire early. None of the top cryptos are going to zero. They're here for it forever. There might be 50% drops. There will be many 10, 20, 30% drops. But there's many more 10, 20, 30% jumps up. I think Ethereum and Bitcoin just in the last 2 weeks are up 30, 35%. Bouled or quadrupled your money in that amount of time.
Okay, so let's start the intro and let it flow.
Yeah.
I like the pre-chat though. Yeah. Welcome back to Chat with Tessa, everyone. So today I have a guest, and I got it wrong, guys. I thought he's from Ireland. Meanwhile, he's not from Ireland. He is from Scotland, right?
Scotland. Yes.
Scotland. Grant is. How do I introduce you, Grant? I feel like you're so many things, right? You're a husband, you're a dad, you're a crypto enthusiast, you are an educator,
teacher,
you know? So there's so many things, and I guess you can introduce yourself.
Well, yeah, you basically said it all. I was also thinking, how would I introduce myself? Father,
this is your opportunity.
Father, husband, teacher, and part-time crypto investor.
Part-time? I feel like it's more than part-time.
it's become the hobby I spend most time on.
Yeah.
Between football, I'm not really a gamer, movies, socializing. It's the thing I spend most
time on is crypto.
But that's also because you can just leave a chart on your screen. And I don't have much time to spend on my computer, so I leave the charts on, and they're always on, and then just have a quick glance.
So when there are things that I don't feel like I'm quite knowledgeable on, it's best that on Chat with Tessa, we have a guest that has more information. Not that Grant is like an expert or anything, but like you said, like he just said now, he spends a lot of his time looking at the charts, and also educating people, because I mean, everyone will be like, oh yeah, Grant told me about that. Oh yeah, Grant. And it's mainly men. So I'm like, we're going to have a woman being taught by Grant too, and then the woman will go and teach the rest of the community.
I hope so. I mean, one of my goals is to help people in crypto, because other people getting into crypto is good for them, but it's also good for everyone else in crypto. It's a network of people, and the more people that are in it, the more people benefit, because more people are in crypto.
True.
And I think crypto eventually will be in everyone's phones, on everyone's computers. It's how we will interact with money eventually. But it is difficult just now. It's scary for a lot of people. It's not clear because it's still very early. And so, the more I can help people understand, then the more they can help other people understand. And and
that is exactly why I had to have Grant on the channel, because I just feel like we haven't had the crypto conversation, and I have been saying that we're eventually gonna have that crypto conversation, but I was looking for the right way to do it, and we're so grateful to have you here with us today, Grant.
Well, thank you for having me on.
Is it Grant or Grant?
It's different with everybody.
Do I say Grant to you?
Grant's fine. I have Scottish people roll the R as well. So
is it?
Grant.
Grant.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call you the South African way. Guys, lo no Grant. Okay, so I prepared quite a number of questions that I'm going to ask Grant today. And these questions, I'm asking them as a beginner. I have an idea about cryptocurrency, and yes, we've seen a lot of people make millions from crypto. We've seen people get scammed with crypto. And yeah, you're just like, me, crypto, it's a scam. You don't want to rule it out yet and see it as a scam. And anything that's on chat with Dissa and you see my face, maybe you can trust it a little more. So I've got the questions ready, and I think let's start with like, how would you explain crypto to somebody who is maybe used to like the ordinary investing of buying company shares, buying and selling shares with different companies, and maybe leaving their money in the bank on a savings account and earning some interest, and they're used to like that type of investing and that type of volatility of the stock market. Like, how would you explain this thing that is crypto? You know, because you'll say cryptocurrencies, and the first thing that comes to mind, people are like, oh, Bitcoin, oh, scammers.
Bitcoin is the king of crypto. It was the first one. It was the first one that was successful. It's got the first mover's advantage. And what is cryptocurrency for people who invest in other things? It's similar. Every cryptocurrency you could also think of like a company or like a software. You can think of it like that because it has a function. So that's how you can think of all these different coins. They are called coins, but there's not really a physical coin. It's just because it's cryptocurrency is a way for us to have an alternative financial infrastructure. It's digital, it's permissionless, it's decentralized. So it's completely different from what we're used to with the traditional financial system. But that's what it is. It's a new financial system. And so it's called cryptocurrency because it is another currency. And these companies or softwares are called coins because it's supposed to be a currency. But they are actually it's like software. They all do something. So some of these coins provide extra security. Some of these coins provide scaling solutions. Some of these coins provide lots of different things that companies and financial institutions need. And some of them do them all. Some of them just do some things.
Like, what kind of things do they provide? Like, give me an example of something.
There's a coin called VE Chain. And that specializes in logistic chain stuff. I'm not sure how to describe it. But basically their goal is to make the whole journey from product development to being in your house, from buying it off the shelf, completely transparent. And so for things like wine, if you're buying it from France, VE Chain will have this blockchain where you can see where the bottle, the vineyard that the wine came from, where it got packaged, where it got stored, how the delivery company used to send it to the store. And you can check all this so you can guarantee its authenticity. And it's really useful for things like wine, for things like baby powder, where there has been issues over the authenticity of these things. There's a lot of fakes out there. And so VE Chain is going to provide this logistics service where the consumer can see every stage of this product being developed.
And then VE Chain is still a coin, and you can still trade this coin.
Yeah, but that's their main kind of service. That's the function of that coin.
Oh, so different coins also provide services other than just being a currency.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So Bitcoin it's one of the best ones because it has one main use and really kind of one use only, and that's to be a digital currency. It's like gold because it's being mined, and mining confuses people.
Yeah, when I think of mining, I'm thinking of like 6 feet under and digging.
So Bitcoin mining is you have to get a lot of computers, very powerful computers, to do a lot of calculations, and after they solve these mathematical equations, they are rewarded with a block, and in that block are so many Bitcoins. And that takes
Who rewards them?
the blockchain.
Who's the blockchain?
I'm
sorry, Grant.
These are all good questions, and this is why it is kind of confusing.
Yeah.
So the blockchain it's like a ledger. A ledger is a book that banks would use to record all transactions.
Okay.
So a blockchain is basically a digital ledger.
Okay.
So we don't need a book anymore, and it's decentralized. So it's not on one computer. It's not in one company. It can't be turned off. It's on the internet, and everyone can see it.
Okay.
At all times.
So banks also have this thing, but they control it.
Yeah.
Okay, but then with crypto, it's accessible to everyone and it's always on.
It's decentralized. So decentralized means it's not in any one place. It's on my computer. It's on your computer. It's everywhere.
But who created this ledger? Satoshi. That's
Satoshi Nakamoto.
Uh-huh.
It's a lot of people don't know who he is. There's rumors that it was just an alias that somebody used, and there is some guy, I've not actually seen him or heard him talk, but some guy who's in the public sphere says he is Satoshi.
Okay.
But nobody really knows. He does have a wallet with 1 million Bitcoin in it, but it's not been touched.
Okay.
So we don't know, is he alive? Is he dead? Is he just living somewhere else? Is he an American? Is he Brazilian? Is he... Nobody really knows.
Going back to Satoshi having supposedly created this ledger, right? So can't Satoshi come back and switch it off or retract it or affect this whole blockchain or ledger?
So another thing about blockchain, about Bitcoin is that it's secure. It's not been the code. It's code basically. It's just computer code.
Okay.
So when we talk about later, I might talk about smart contracts. It's just code. It's just computer code, and it cannot be. As far as I don't really know the deep details of this. I'm not a programmer, but it can't be changed, and it can't be hacked, and it can't be duplicated. So someone makes a fake Bitcoin. It's been going for 12 years already, and it's survived all these attacks. It's never had any serious security issues. Although I think there has been a few that were known of, and they've been fixed. So there is a community of people who can change it, but it needs to be a consensus. It needs to be the whole community that agrees to it. And again, I'm not 100% sure about all that stuff. But yeah, basically, Bitcoin is supposed to be a currency.
Okay.
It's supposed to replicate gold, and it's got a finite supply. So once, I think there's another 120 years or 115 years before they'll all be mined, because they have a half-life every 4 years. So every 4 years, the block reward of Bitcoin gets halved. So right now, I think we're on 6.25 blocks as a reward, and in 2 years, the next halving, that'll be 3.12 something. In another 4 years, that'll be halved again, so it'll be 1 point something per block. Another 4 years, half and half, and eventually they'll all 21 million will be mined. So something like 2132 or something.
How do you know how many they are?
Satoshi set it at 21 million. So there'll only ever be 21 million Bitcoin.
Then if they're there, why must they be mined?
The computers have to do these mathematics, the equations, to get rewarded with the blocks. And it takes time. It's really difficult. It's like running a really powerful program on your computer. It takes time to load. So this takes a lot more time and a lot more power to load the code, and the reward is the Bitcoin.
So when the reward is then found or given, where is it kept and who does it belong to? Does it belong to the person who mined it?
Yeah. So they'll have a wallet which is connected to their mining machine, and that block reward will go into their wallet.
So when they've run out, these miners will have this Bitcoin that they've mined.
Yeah.
And then what does that mean for all these millions of investors?
Well, they have selling pressure because their rigs, the computers, the electricity, all is what it's like. If you're mining for gold, you need to buy the machinery, you need to buy the fuel, you need to sell it to pay to continue to mine. Otherwise, you'll eventually run out of fuel. Your machines will break, and you won't be able to mine anymore.
Okay.
So it is like gold mining in that way. There is a computational amount of work that is rewarded, that you have to pay for, that's rewarded with the Bitcoin.
Okay, so they don't necessarily sell like the whole coin. They can sell bits of it.
Yeah.
And in them selling bits of it, that's what we're buying.
Yeah, or you can buy a whole coin. I think it's divisible by down to 8 figures after the 0. So
okay.
You can buy I'm not sure what that would be, but you could buy 0.
Yeah.
0.
Yes, I've seen it on my app. Like it will show you now you have 0. What of Bitcoin. Yeah, I don't have one. It's too expensive. I could buy a whole house in South Africa with that money. Yeah.
But a long time ago, that was not worth that much money. Now it's worth a lot more money. But the reward keeps getting halved each time. So even though it's worth more money, the sellers will still have pressure to sell because they're not getting rewarded as much. So that's why the price will jump every 4 years, because if it costs you $2,000 a month, $2,000 a month to run your mining operation, which might just be 1 or 2 computers, but your electricity, maintenance, maybe you're paying $2,000 a month. If the price of Bitcoin is $2,100 and you're making 1 Bitcoin a month, just theoretically, then you need to sell 2,000 and you're only making $100. But then the price might go up and you might start making $4,000 or $6,000 or $10,000 per Bitcoin. But then there's a halving. And instead of that 1 Bitcoin, you're now getting half a Bitcoin. And so that's what drives the price up, because they're paying the same $2,000 a month for the electricity and maintenance, but now they're only getting half a Bitcoin. So they're going to have to start selling for at least to cover their expenses.
All right. So over time, does this indicate that Bitcoin would then be worth more, even with this happening?
Yeah.
Okay. So even when they run out, this trading and buying and selling can still continue, but it will be worth more?
When they run out is an interesting debate online about what will happen when they run out of Bitcoin.
Do we have to worry about that now?
No, it's 100 years away.
So we can just keep buying and selling Bitcoin and making money and not have to worry about this yet. But like you said, it's an online debate, and maybe you guys can actually check out later on like some of these debates that are happening online about like what happens when it all is mined. Not runs out, but
there's kind of 2 sides, well maybe 3. There's very heavy Bitcoin maxis, they're called, which are people who are 100% devoted to Bitcoin over any other coin. And they've got a lot of good arguments about why it's the best coin, why it will change the world forever. I agree with a lot of them. And then there's the other side who are devoted to other coins. And a lot of these other coins were made because they saw the flaws with Bitcoin. So they made a better coin. And a lot of these people are the maxis of their own coins. Like once you're heavily invested in a coin, you do become quite married to it. A lot of people stringently defend their own coin, and they point out the bad things with Bitcoin, and I agree with a lot of those as well. So there are people in the middle who like Bitcoin and other coins, which is kind of mean. I just want to make money.
Okay, so let's draw back a bit. The question that was asked was like how you would explain what cryptocurrency is, and essentially I've actually just learned something new today, that it's not just a currency like how we have the dollar, right? Now we actually have a crypto coin that can be a currency. I didn't know that they actually have other services that they provide or things that they do outside of it just being a currency that's being traded. Okay, so now we've learned something new about what they are, and does that then bring about its value? So if a particular coin provides a certain service like the one that you explained, does that then bring up its value as well? And
I mean, Bitcoin Bitcoin is seen as digital gold. So it's actually probably not going to be used as a currency because people don't buy things with gold. Gold is a store of value. So if you're worried about inflation, buy gold, because your money will, your value that you've created in your life will continue to stay at that level or increase over time.
Okay.
Bitcoin is now beginning to look like the better store of value than gold. And so if you're worried about inflation, buy Bitcoin. Bitcoin's price is probably going to keep going up for the next maybe 100 years. Maybe it'll become pretty stable and just go up slowly like gold in the next 10 to 20 years. But I still think there's probably a big run up over the next 10, 15 years to happen. But yes, other coins can do other things as well. So Ethereum has been the number 2 coin for probably 5 years now, maybe longer. It's only 7 years old. I think it's 7 years old.
Okay.
And Ethereum is more like a network, and other coins can be built on top of the Ethereum blockchain, because Ethereum was built because it saw what Bitcoin was doing and thought there's some flaws with Bitcoin. This is a better one. And Ethereum is different in a lot of ways, but essentially it can be a store of value like Bitcoin. It can be traded, things like you might have heard of NFTs. Ethereum's the currency if you want to buy and sell NFTs.
Only Ethereum?
No, lots of other ones as well, but Ethereum is being used just now as one of the main currencies. There are other blockchains that have NFTs and they have their own native currency as well. But yeah, it's depending on what the coin can do. Like exchanges have their own coin. So the third, I think, or the fourth top coin is BNB, which is
the Binance coin.
Binance coin.
Yeah.
And if you're trading on Binance, you need to pay a fee, and that fee will be BNB.
Okay.
So that's why you need that currency.
Okay.
So yeah, every coin has their own function, and depending on what that function is, more people will use it, more people will trade it, and the value can go up.
Okay, so I am getting a better sense of what cryptocurrency is, and I really hope that you guys are getting it as well. If you're understanding this, give it a rating in the comment section between 1 and 10, and 1 being like, I do not understand anything, and with 10 is like, okay, I'm also getting there, and 5 would be like, I'm sort of in the middle. Grant is a great teacher, and you guys have said I'm a great teacher too, and we're trying to keep this like as simple as possible, and I'm asking questions that I also would like to know because I'm still new to this. I've seen on the news where, like, was it El Salvador? Is it El Salvador where they said that cryptocurrency can be used to purchase, like, you can use it like money, right? And I don't know which other country as well has adopted that, but I've heard of El Salvador. And I've also seen recently on the news that because of the war between Russia and Ukraine, a lot of the millionaires and billionaires, because of the currency in Russia now having lost a lot of value, and with all these sanctions, they sort of want to protect their wealth. And like you said, that cryptocurrency would also be seen as a place where you can, sort of put your money to protect its worth. The same way people would do that by buying gold. And I've seen the gold price has also gone up. So can cryptocurrency actually be used like that? Can I decide, well, I'm going to go to the supermarket today, I don't have money to pay, so I do have a lot of Bitcoin, or I have a lot of Ethereum or Cardano or BNB, like, can I use that to pay? But how does that make sense? Because one day the price is here, the next day it's here, then it's here, then it's there. Like, did I really buy a loaf of bread for, like... It doesn't make sense for me, like, how you can use cryptocurrency at the same way you use money. But when you explain it as a way for you to protect your money from inflation and from losing its value, obviously, and as another form of investment, I can see that, because I'm not going to take my shares and be like, I'm going to go buy jam today with my MTN shares. MTN is a mobile network provider. Like, I'm going to take my shares and go buy bread today. So I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
So how is it that we can use crypto in that way? I know you said that crypto is also a currency in a way, but I'm seeing it more in the way that you've explained it, of how people will buy gold to protect their wealth. Yeah.
It confuses me a little bit as well, but yeah, El Salvador legalized Bitcoin as legal tender, and they basically told every business, you must accept Bitcoin. So if somebody wants to go to the shop and buy a bottle of Coke, and they want to pay with Bitcoin, the shop can accept that.
Yeah.
I don't know if the price of a bottle of Coke changes depending on the value of Bitcoin at that time. I'm not sure about that. That might be something that is automatic. So just like a chart goes up and down with the price, you could peg every item to an equivalent value dollar, and then the Bitcoin price will fluctuate. So you could go to buy a bottle of Coke in the afternoon for, I don't know, 2 satoshis, and in the evening it's 3 satoshis. I think that's maybe how it works.
Okay, so then the store would also have to sort of be changing their prices quite a lot.
I don't know. I'm completely speculating on this, but I think it's all done digital. So whatever the price is at that time, your phone will tell you. And I think the shop will probably just have the price in the local currency, but you can pay that much of the local currency in Bitcoin, whatever the price is at that time.
Okay.
So if I want to send you Bitcoin, $200, I put $200 in, and then it'll tell me, oh, that's that much Bitcoin, and I send.
Okay.
So it's not
this is not the wallet.
Yeah.
Right? So
it's not like I have to know how much Bitcoin I need to send at the time. The app will tell me how much Bitcoin 200 is worth.
Okay.
So I guess they're using QR codes in El Salvador. They'll just scan the bottle. It's, I don't know, $1. Whatever that price is, it'll just take that much Bitcoin out your account.
Okay, I see that. But also, why would you want to do that?
Well, that's another thing. Why do people want to buy Bitcoin? Because in the long run, it's going up. It's gone up for 12 years. If you zoom out, the macro environment is up, and it's following stocks now. It's following the S&P 500, which is it's just an increasing value stock, and so over time, the price of Bitcoin will go up. But if that's the currency you're using, then you use it. I mean, the RMB might go up for the next 2 years against the dollar, but we're not saving RMB every day because of waiting for that time in the future where we can trade it for more dollars. So it might be a little bit of that. Plus, if they're using it as a currency, then you'll probably get your salary in that. Businesses will get their income in that, so they have to trade it because that's what they're getting from the customers.
Okay.
This is a really good question, because a lot of critics of cryptocurrency have said that this is a bad thing, that the sanctions on Russia can be avoided by the oligarchs buying crypto. But
is this like the richest family in Russia?
Yeah, like Putin's got 500 best friends who are the richest people in Russia, and they're called oligarchs.
Can I please have one of them as a friend? As a friend. Yeah.
Very, very good friends.
Yeah.
But no, the thing about blockchain is it's public, so everyone can see every transaction that's made, and that's what I think a lot of these critics of Bitcoin don't know this, or they're ignoring it, because if Britain, for example, for the last 20 years has been laundering Russian money, and if you dig hard enough, you'll find that out in the records of the Bank of England and other banks. But you have to really get past a lot of red tape to find out that stuff.
Because it's not public.
No.
Like you said, with cryptocurrency, there's a ledger and you can see every single transaction that happens.
Every single transaction.
So with banks, you can't see that. No. They could do shenanigans that they want and you'd never find out, right?
Like the Panama Papers, I think the offshore bank accounts of all the richest people in the world. But all these people are avoiding tax by having safe havens for their money. Bitcoin, you can see everyone. You might not know whose wallet it is, but you could probably guess a lot of wallets. Like if someone's public with how much they're buying, like a company is public, and they say we bought 150,000 Bitcoin today, that you go and look for the transaction that's 150,000, and you can follow that wallet, you can follow that company and how much they're buying. And so if an oligarch was to spend a lot of money, because they have a lot of money, you just go and search for that. What was the biggest transfer today? Oh, that's the oligarch's wallet. Okay, we'll follow that wallet. So
when you follow a wallet, like, can you actually see what location, where, when?
I'm not sure if you can see the location, but you know, I think forensic investigation of this you can. But for me and you, we can just type in the address and we can see the ins and outs of that wallet. So we can see what's going in, we can see what's coming out.
So in the crypto community, have they discovered anything about any of the 500 having bought any crypto?
Not that I've heard of so far. I don't think. If they have been, then people can go and see and speculate on if these big purchases were the oligarchs. But it's not like they can't hide there. And on the flip side, for Ukraine have been receiving funds via crypto immediately. So there's a lot of people in Ukraine that can't get to their bank. Maybe there is no bank anymore. But if they still have their phone, then they can receive money.
Now, with the creation of coins, and like, okay, I'm a new crypto investor and I want to get into cryptocurrencies. The crypto that I know is Bitcoin, Ethereum, Binance Coin, like just these top names, right? But then there's a whole list, a very long list of cryptocurrencies. And you're like, I don't know these cryptocurrencies, and I don't know if it's safe for me to go into this token. There was like a token that looks like a dog, Dogecoin, you know, and there was a lot of craze about that because Elon Musk had bought into Dogecoin and he made that public, and people were like, oh yes, we're going to go buy Dogecoin, etc. If he makes any transaction and makes it public, next thing that cryptocurrency goes up in whatever, right? So how do I choose, Grant? Like, okay, Bitcoin is expensive, Ethereum is expensive, so I'm like, Dogecoin is still fairly cheap. Like maybe let me just keep buying this cheaper coin and stay away from the big guys so that I can get as much of this coin in case it actually goes up in the future. So how can we trust coins, and how do we know?
So first what you're saying there is this coin's expensive. That's a really big mistake that a lot of people make. The price of a coin has almost nothing to do with how successful it will or has been.
Okay.
Bitcoin is I think about 45,000, 46,000, because the market cap, how much money is in it, divided by the amount of coins, is how much the coin is worth. So what you want to do to see how valuable a coin is don't look at the price, is look at the market cap. How much money has been invested in it so far? Oh, really? If Ethereum had the same market cap as Bitcoin, it wouldn't be 46,000. It would be, I don't know, because there's 117 million Ethereum. There's only 21 million Bitcoin. So if they both have 500 billion market cap, or 1 trillion market cap, Bitcoin's close to a trillion market cap, maybe be around 50, 60,000. If Ethereum had a trillion market cap, I think it would only be around 10, 12,000. But they have the same amount of investment. The value of the specific coin is only the market cap divided by the circulating supply.
Okay. And in this case, Bitcoin has a low circulation of coins.
Kind of, yeah.
With a high market cap.
Yeah.
And Ethereum has the high market cap and a larger circulation.
Ethereum has about half the market cap.
Oh, half.
Bitcoin,
okay.
But about 5 times the coins.
Okay. So
Dogecoin has I don't know. I think they have billions of coins. That's why it's 0.000.
Oh.
It almost hit $1, I think, before. People think it might hit $1, but it will never hit 46,000 like Bitcoin, because even with Bitcoin's market cap, it might still only be $2 or $3. So when you look at a coin and you think, oh, it's under $1, don't think this could go to $1. Look at the market cap, because if it has a 10 billion market cap already, then it's probably not going to get that much higher. 10 billion is probably around 30 or 40 in the list.
So if it's at a very high market cap, what you're saying is that, okay, what does that mean? So if the market cap...
Don't look at price. So
okay.
First,
because my thinking is, oh, Bitcoin is expensive, Ethereum is expensive, right?
Yeah, so when you're looking at coins, don't look at price, look at the market cap. The market cap will tell you, if it's got a big market cap, then it's pretty reliable. There's a lot of investment in it. There's probably a lot of volume.
And market cap means that's the amount of money that has been invested in this coin.
Yeah.
So all that money that Grant is using to buy this coin and Tissa is using and everybody else, that amount is the market cap.
Yes.
Okay. So then that's telling me that, oh, a lot of people are actually buying this coin.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's one indicator, one red flag or white flag to look out for is the market cap.
Yeah, if you see a new coin that has less than 1 or 2 million market cap, probably don't invest in it. The top 100 coins all have hundreds of millions in their market cap.
Okay.
The top 10 have between, I think, 30 to Bitcoin's 800 billion dollars in market cap.
Wow.
It's kind of the same with Apple and Google, and their value, the price might be different, but their market cap's all roughly in the same space. It's just because some have less shares. Maybe Google has more shares available than Apple. So if they have more shares, then the price is the market cap divided by each share.
Okay.
So if Bitcoin only had one share, I'm probably just talking rubbish now.
It's fine.
If there was only one Bitcoin, and there was a market cap of 800 billion, Bitcoin would be worth 800 billion.
It's fine. You want to sip on your coffee?
Yeah, I've got it here.
Yeah. Oh, this is really great.
But yeah,
wow,
so
cryptocurrency conversations can go on forever because I'm like listening to you. I'm also learning, and it's also like, oh, we're recording, but
it's so hard to narrow it down.
Yeah, because you touch on one thing, and then it's like, oh no, but wait, this. Yeah. What about that? Because even just the blockchain and the ledger that you explained, there's so many questions around that.
Yeah.
And it's not something new per se, but now, because of this new type of investment and because of the questions we have, now it's like, oh, can you explain this? But like you said, these are things that the banks also have and use, but it's not public. Yeah. Like with cryptocurrencies, right? Yeah. And now with cryptocurrencies, because we're so like about it, we have all these questions and want to understand each and every bit of it, you know? Because I mean, there are so many scams, and you're like, but I invested in cryptocurrency with this exchange, and then there was no crypto. How do I know that my investment was actually a legitimate one?
So what I would say, if you're just trading and you're looking for something that's going to grow, you don't need to pick the big ones. But if you're short-term investing, first check the market cap. Has it got a substantial market cap? If it does, then it's probably not going to go away. If it has a low market cap and low volume, then do a lot more research, because it might disappear. It might be a scam, because anyone can create a coin. I could create a coin. I could create Grant Coin, and I could make a website. I could pay someone to make a really nice website for me, and then I could fake some profiles on LinkedIn, and I could make an awesome development team, and then I could pay for some marketing on TikTok, pay for some guys to talk about my coin that's coming out, and then loads of people buy it, and I think, oh great, I'll just withdraw all of that money now, and it's gone. And that's generally what happens with these scam coins, is they're just fake coins. To avoid that, stay away from anything outside the top 300, I would say. The top 300 coins are probably coins that have a real team behind them, that have they're actually trying to do something. After that, it's kind of 99% of them are garbage. And even if they are real, they might just not be good enough to ever make it. So if you're investing, the safe play would be anything in the top 100. There are obviously bigger gains to be made the lower down you go. Yeah. So it's tempting to go for a low cap coin because that could go 100, 200, maybe 1,000x in a few weeks. And that happens a lot. When the price is going up, everyone buys these random coins because someone online's talking about it. And fear of missing out, or FOMO, kind of takes over. And it's easy to get lost in all that and jump in. And if you're betting low, if you're just putting $20 in something and you lose it, who cares? But if you need your money and you can't afford to lose anything, then stay away from everything.
From everything outside the 100.
Probably outside the 100. Maybe the next 100 or the top 300 at most. Those coins probably have a team behind them. They probably are legit. Some of them might make it, some of them might just not make it. But the amount of scams in there will probably be less. So I would say to most people, if you want to invest in crypto, think long term. Think minimum 2 years.
Minimum 2 years.
Minimum 2 years.
Okay.
All the way to as far as you want, because I think it's not going away ever. I think crypto's here to stay. Now
that you said it's not going away ever, my thought came back. I was like, wait, what if I wake up tomorrow and then they're like, Ethereum is no more.
Right.
There is no set, like how you're saying that these other coins that are not in the top 300, these new upcoming coins could be fake, or could be a scam, or could be coins that don't have much potential of becoming great. They fall off. Like, you just hear that, it's no more, that coin doesn't exist. Like, could I wake up tomorrow and hear that, Dogecoin or Ethereum or Bitcoin just doesn't exist and everybody's money is gone? Is that even possible?
It's as possible as Apple or Google.
And I can't think of Apple and Google.
I mean, one day they might. One day they might be replaced. But at the moment, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and maybe another 25 out of the top 100, I don't think will ever go away. Bitcoin and Ethereum have a massive advantage in that they're already quite well known. They're very well established. They've been road tested, and so these are very sturdy, very safe, very trustworthy cryptos. The biggest risk to those big two, or maybe even the big 20, you could say, the biggest risk to the top cryptos, if you're worried about them all disappearing, is regulation. It's how are the IMF and the World Bank, how are they going to try to stop it? Because it's probably the biggest threat to the IMF, to the global financial industry.
And could they do anything to sort of regulate it or try and stop it? Is it even possible to do anything that is of impact?
Yeah, I mean, they've tried to over the years. They're trying to now. Slowly, more and more governments are realizing that they can benefit from it, and especially poorer countries are realizing they can benefit from it. It's the more developed country, the wealthier countries that are the banks run the governments basically that are afraid of it, and they're trying to slow it down. But because it's decentralized, there's limits to what they can do. My bank in the UK blocked me from selling or buying to and from exchanges.
In that case, that means that their sense of authority is not necessarily in the crypto itself, but rather in blocking you and your ability to do certain things with it.
Yeah.
Like South Africa now saying you cannot, like how it is in China, they can no longer mine crypto, right?
Yeah.
Or if they now say you cannot buy anything with crypto and you have all this crypto, but they cannot necessarily stop crypto.
They can't stop me sending you crypto. They can't stop you selling me, or me selling you my computer and you paying me in Bitcoin.
Okay.
Or you might want to sell me a car and you can accept Ethereum. or you might want to sell me a house or a boat or a service, and you're happy to accept Bitcoin.
Okay.
So there's, from that perspective, there's nothing they can do. Once I have Bitcoin, and if you have a means to accept it, but they are trying as much as they can to stop people.
Okay, Grant, maybe somebody's watching this and is feeling like, okay, this is all very overwhelming. I can't really take it all in, and it gives me a lot of anxiety. So you know what? I'm actually gonna go and invest in an index, a crypto index instead. And that way, I kind of feel like maybe that might be a little less volatile because it's sort of balanced, and they have maybe 10% stake of Bitcoin, a bit of Ethereum in there, and all of that, and they've balanced it the way that they have, and that just seems more simple. That I'm invested in this index, and the popular one in South Africa is called the EC10 token, and you and I had a look at it the other day, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people are invested in it. I am too, and I'm like, it's all of this. No, let me just stay in this index. Like, what would you say to somebody who's having that sort of thought? Would you say, yeah, do the index and also do your own crypto holdings, or the index would just make you just as much money as a crypto holding, because I mean it's following the performance of cryptocurrencies already?
Definitely, if an index feels something that you're more comfortable with, then it is exposure to more crypto. It's less upside, but it's also less downside, so you're protected a little bit more. If one of those top 10 coins crashes, then the other 9 probably keep your price relatively similar to where it was. But if one or two of those coins goes for a run, then you might not get the most upside if you were holding one of those. But you can't hold everyone, and I've got maybe 6 coins in my portfolio just now, and I'm looking at one coin that's gone up 40% in a week, and I'm thinking,
nice.
I should have bought that, but I don't have it. But then I just look back and think, well, I have a couple of coins that went on a run a few weeks ago, so I was part of that. So it's an index is a great way to get started. And if you're really interested in it, then follow all the coins in your index, and then make a decision if you want to invest in one separately. If you're looking to invest in crypto, short term, it can be lucrative, but it can be very risky because the volatility is crazy.
And that volatility that he's talking about is the lingo that I always use, which is the up and up, the up and down, you know?
But long term, there's already been so many things that should have derailed crypto, and it hasn't. And I think it's bulletproof now. It's been through countries banning it, like China, several times. I think every year China bans crypto. The US has banned it for a while. It's been not banned, but there are very strict rules, restrictions around using it. There have been crashes in the stock market. COVID came along. There's been attacks. There's been hacks. There's been so many frauds and scams in crypto, but the price continually goes up. And whether you get in a bull market or a bear market, the volatility will eventually stabilize. Once institutional investment, which is coming in now, banks are going to be selling Bitcoin very soon, very, very soon, because they want to control the Bitcoin. They want to be the one to sell it to you. They don't want you to go and buy it yourself, because they lose money. So banks are currently,
almost like exchanges in a way.
banks
are like, well, all these exchanges are coming up. We're already established. We have money to buy this Bitcoin and then sell it to you.
Absolutely. It's happening right now.
And if this obviously grows in momentum and more banks do this, then obviously that means more and more people will invest in it, and it will go up, right? Right? That thinking?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Not just banks, but pension funds, the global financial market is slowly moving into being run on blockchains, on blockchain technology. And it's not in the future sometime, it's happening now. It's already happening.
Oh wow, amazing.
And so it will be good. Banks coming in and buying crypto will also be good for people because it will give everyone access to Bitcoin, not just people who know how to set up a decentralized wallet, because not many people know how to set up a decentralized wallet. Not many people want to know. Some people just want to go to the bank and say, I want to invest. I heard this crypto is good. Let me invest in that.
Yeah.
But the banks will only, I think, allow their high value clients to invest at first. So only the rich get the early investor benefits, and eventually us useless idiots at the bottom will be allowed to, if they let us, or if we accumulate enough wealth to be considered smart.
The politics. So, I'm going to teach you something in Tsonga. Okay. So, when you say thank you in Tsonga, right, that's my language. I told you in South Africa we have 11 official languages, okay?
Yeah.
So, in South Africa, my home language is not English, it's Tsonga.
Okay.
So, when I say thank you, they say nakansa.
Nakansa.
Yeah, so just think of cancer and put na in front of it. Nakansa.
Nakansa.
Yeah, but now, so at the end of the videos, I usually say to everyone, thank you, nakansa, right? So now, if it's two people, we have to say it in the plural. So instead of na, you're going to say ha, H-A, ha cancer. Ha cancer. Not hi cancer. Ha cancer.
Ha.
Yeah, ha cancer.
Sounds like they're saying hi.
Ha.
Ha.
Yeah, ha cancer.
Ha cancer.
Yeah. Okay.
Ha,
so 3, 2, 1. We're gonna say thank you. Ha cancer. Okay. Got it.
Got it.
Let's go. Thank you.
Thank you. Ha cancer.
Hi cancer. Nice one, Grant. That was great.